Good evening. Welcome to the 2016 Oregon Athletic Directors Association Hall of Fame induction banquet. For the families of those being honored this evening, I want to personally thank you for the sacrifices you have made for the schools and communities of our inductees. The role of athletic directors is one of servant leadership, and as we look back at the work of those outstanding leaders, coaches, and mentors, we need to celebrate their hard work and dedication that has paved the way for many of us to follow in their direction. Congratulations to all of the inductees and their families. Your service has not gone unnoticed, and tonight we will honor you and applaud you in all of your efforts. At this time, I would like to call up Sandy Liu from Catlin Gable, who will lead us in our invocation.
Heavenly Father, as we gather this evening to celebrate the gifts of time and talent you have given us, we thank you for the 7 wonderful lives that we honor and will induct this evening into our Hall of Fame. We're thankful for being able to make new friends and for being able to connect with old ones. We're thankful for the gifts and opportunities you give us every day and that you give us the strength to meet the challenges that confront us. We're thankful for personal connections and we have found through this organization, and grateful to serve witness to all of the student lives that we have been positively transformed through athletics. Lord, please bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies, and we may leave here refreshed with a renewed spirit of service. Amen.
Before we begin, I'd like to make a special note, and it was with heavy heart and sadness that we learned on Wednesday of the passing of one of our former Hall of Fame members, Paul Mannon. Paul and his wife Carol were planning to be here this evening and participate in the ceremonies. So I would like you to please keep Carol and their family in your thoughts and prayers as they deal with this loss. So our first inductee this evening, Boyd Bjorkquist. Joining Boyd tonight are special guests. First of all, his wife Barb, his mother Joyce, his sister Susan Holmes, traveling from Alaska, thank you, daughter Crystal Luna, son Shane Shepard, brother-in-law Richard Everett, special friends Gloria and Dick Johnson, Carol and Don Thompson, his former principal and sometimes still his boss because Boyd still goes back and works, principal at North Bend High School, Bill Lucero, and the current athletic director at North Bend, Mike Forrester, and his wife Wendy. At this time, I direct your attention to the video.
A son of the Oregon coast, Boyd Bjorkquist has devoted over 3 decades of his life to students and athletes at Neahkahnie and North Bend High Schools. Boyd graduated from Marshfield in 1973 and spent his collegiate career playing tennis at Eastern Oregon University and Southwest Oregon Community College. Boyd graduated from Southern Oregon State College in 1978 with a BS in political science and history. After graduating, Boyd spent time working in the Vista Volunteers program in northern Idaho. It was there that he met his wife, Barb. He then began his 31-year career teaching and coaching, first at Neahkahnie in 1980. Boyd coached football, basketball, and track before being named athletic director in 1988. He would hold that position 8 more years. While at Neahkahnie, Boyd served as the Northwest League president. In 1996, Boyd moved to North Bend High School as athletic and activities director until his first retirement in 2010. But Boyd did not want to be idle in retirement. He returned in 2012 to serve with his longtime friend Mike George as co-athletic director at Marshfield. Bjorkquist helped establish Hall of Fames at both Neahkahnie and North Bend High Schools. Always one to think big, Boyd helped raise over $3 million to renovate North Bend's athletic facilities, and he led the building committee that created the North Bend Hall of Champions. Boyd continued his community project work at Marshfield High School, co-chairing the committee to remodel the wrestling room, which is now Marshfield Heritage Hall. Boyd remains a committee member of the OSAA 3A basketball tournament, which has been hosted in the Bay Area since 2010. Among his notable awards, Boyd was named OADA 3A Athletic Director of the Year. He has also served as OADA President. In 2010, he received the NIAAA State Award of Merit and was selected North Bend Citizen of the Year. Barb and Boyd have 2 children together, daughter Crystal, son Shane, and 6 grandchildren. Tonight, we welcome Boyd Bjorkquist to the OADA Hall of Fame.
I've always been proud to see the young people from my school do so well. I graduated 1 year before Boyd. Hard to believe, huh? But he has made us all proud for the work that he's done in athletics. And Boyd, I know that looking back, he is known as a man of 10,000 projects. Every time you call Boyd, well, I think he's at the hardware store. Well, he might be over at this store or that store. He always has a project. But let's hear from you a little bit. First of all, congratulations to you, but also just on a long career, specifically with Neoconi, where you started. What got you into athletic administration?
Well, I think sometimes you're lucky when you're at a small school, and opportunities probably come along a little quicker. And while I was there, the opportunity came up, and I think because I grew up doing a lot of different sports and enjoying a lot of different sports, that was kind of a natural opportunity and something I thought I'd like, and it proved to be that. And so that opportunity at Neoconi was really the key to get me started, and I loved it.
Boyd came back to the Bay Area, to the shock of we Pirates. He was wearing brown and gold. But the funny thing is right before that, I went to North Bend to do sports. So we're a couple of pirates that were not well thought of there in our homeland. But being at North Bend for so long, and we saw on the video some of the work that you put together. Talk a little bit, if you would, about how you got so many people involved, and I know a lot of them volunteered to follow you and get the work done. And you also had some people who were willing to put up some money to make it happen.
We were, and you know, I think that's what you're asking me is really the basis of everything that's happened to me. That when I had the chance to come back, and at Neoconi the same thing, but at North Bend on a bigger scale, that I was blessed with great people in those communities that when we talked about getting something done, stepped up and said, yes, let's go for this. So the projects that we were able to do there are all a result of a whole group of people deciding that this is a good idea, and many of them having many more talents than I had that would jump in and could make that happen. And we were certainly very fortunate to have some wonderful donations. You can't do anything without money. And so that gave us the opportunity. And then we had people, some of them who are here with us tonight, that gave you the constant reinforcement that, hey, we'll get this project done, and what's the next one? And, you know, I've shared with people one of the really unique things of doing work parties at night, turning on the field lights, building an entrance, and it's all volunteers. And having a work party one afternoon where it's virtually every administrator in the district there doing something, painting, hammering, you know. So when you're lucky enough to be in that kind of situation, some really neat things happen, and I was.
You've had a lot of successes and accomplishments just for you personally. Talk about one of your favorites that, I mean, you just talked about one, but you've had so many that really meant a lot to you and for your school.
I would tell you something very similar to tonight of when we got the opportunity as a group to start a Hall of Fame at North Bend and start recognizing people and people coming back and them showing the appreciation for the school and the community and wanting to help. You know, the Hall of Fame at North Bend has been going for a number of years. I'd have to ask Mike, maybe 12 or 13 years. And that's one of those things that every year when you get those folks back, you have this wonderful appreciation for the school and the people that go through it. And so that's been really a highlight.
And we just want to give Boyd and all of our inductees an opportunity to thank those who have really helped you along the way and been a part of making it work for you.
Well, I would say two groups that have made my career. One is touching on some of the people that helped at North Bend, administration, teachers, coaches, booster club members. And I think the key to that group for me starting was the athletic directors I had a chance to work with, starting in the Northwest League and then the Midwestern League. And so that group made work fun every day. And the second group is the group that's sitting at this table. I grew up in a family that, as you know, in Coos Bay, athletics were a big deal. And it was a big deal in our family. My father and mother and sister, very supportive. And then I'm lucky enough to have two kids that are very involved in athletics, and so it's easier to stay there when everybody else is going home if your kids are staying there and being involved. And as Bill alluded to, many people might call and ask to talk to Barb before they ask to talk to me, because you can't do this job, I don't think, unless you're lucky enough to have a spouse, which I do, that is willing to be a timer and keep the book at a basketball game or take tickets for you, or all the things that along the way we've been able to do together. So I've been blessed by those groups and those particular groups of people. And a person that's sitting there with me often quotes this when we're playing golf, that it's better to be lucky than good. And my career is probably an example of being really lucky. And that's how I feel about how fortunate I've been.
Well, we know the community's lucky to have had you. Congratulations. Let's have a hand for Boyd Bjorkquist.
To present Boyd with his plaque and Hall of Fame pin, his former high school coach at Marshfield High School and Hall of Fame member Tom Jenkins, along with his former Northwest League fellow AD and Hall of Fame member Dwayne Huddleston.